With your kind permission, madam, can we now take some questions from the young minds? Okay, so let me come down. I'll request you to please share your name, which stream you are studying in, and keep your question very brief. Please raise your hand and I'll come over to you. Yes, please.
Good morning, ma'am. My name is Anshika Balwada. I'm from Rajasthan. I'm studying for the medical. My question for you is that how can you motivate people to pay their taxes, and how can you catch hold of those who are not paying them? Thank you.
Thank you very much for that question. Catch hold may not be the word. Catch hold of those who are not paying? No, that may not be the word. We motivate them. We nudge people, saying your little tax helps us to, take care of children from poorer household, farmers, also lay good roads. So please do come forward and pay. So it is a persuasion rather than catching up. But I won't pretend saying I don't catch up at all. We also do some kind of a catching up. And how? Suppose there are people who are going on expensive holidays abroad or buying expensive cars. At the point where they buy their tickets or at the point where they buy the car, we take a small minimum percentage of tax deducted at source or tax collected at source, which will be 1% or less than 1% of the total expenditure that they incur. And then say, if you're already a taxpayer, no problem, you can deduct this 1% if it is over and above what you should legitimately pay. Or if it is not over and above it, please include this also. But if you're not even a taxpayer, then we'll know that you've gone on an expensive holiday, which you can't otherwise afford to go. Therefore, there's something, then we check up with them saying, why are you not paying your taxes? Are you not filing your returns? And then question them. So that's the way in which we catch up.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes.
Good afternoon, respected ma'am. I am Cheshtha Daswani. I'm from Kota and I study commerce. Ma'am, in last year's budget speech, you mentioned about mental health tele-helpline. Ma'am, please tell us about its progress and provide us with some tips to handle success and failures in life. Thank you.
Yeah, I sometimes think there are members of parliament sitting here. Tell me about the progress. You're on track, I'm telling you. All of you all are on track. Sooner I'll see you all in parliament. Yeah, that's a very relevant question, and I'm glad a girl from commerce has asked me that. During the year 2020, the fact that schools were closed, parents were at home, you're not sure as to how long this is going to last. Do we have a medicine? Do we have a vaccine? And at that time, the kind of inputs that were coming into us made us feel that stress is working on a lot of young minds. We need to have them served. And therefore, this telemedicine approach to counseling and help if in the extreme case somebody would need psychiatric help, all that was put in place, and strict confidentiality has had to be maintained in it because we didn't want anyone who approaches for such help to be exposed, and therefore that effort was made. And at the moment, readily, I may not be able to tell you what is the progress, but a couple of months ago, once when I had checked it up, it had received a good lot of responses, and it was serving its purpose. But exact numbers of how many people benefited from it, I may have to go back from the health department to get the data and come back. I'll have it sent to your institution or to whoever is the organizer, you can get it. And follow up saying she didn't reply.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, my name is Samad Bhardwaj. I am from Haridwar, Uttarakhand, and I study currently at Commerce Study Division. Ma'am, I want to become an entrepreneur, and I want to ask you a question that what skills should someone have to become a successful entrepreneur? Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, what a nice question, yeah. Before I answer that, just roughly tell me which are the states from where we have today the audience? You have from Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Himachal Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh. No. Okay. Haryana, J&K. I can see a hand there. Jharkhand. Wow. West Bengal. Assam. Any of the Northeast, Sikkim, Meghalaya, Nagaland. Who's that? Sikkim. Nagaland. Manipur. Arunachal. How many? One, but you made so much noise, yeah? Fine. How many from Maharashtra? Karnataka? Yes, Bihar? Brilliant. Now let me ask. 1 minute, I'm coming. Let me ask. From Bihar. Wait there. How many other than Patna? Yeah, Bhagalpur. Gaya. Wow. Okay, now I go to Delhi. Yes, Karnataka. No. Karnataka, not one. One, yes, thank you. Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, not one. Kerala, Lakshadweep. Okay, so it's largely Bihar and Rajasthan. I know, I missed out. Thank you for reminding. UP. Very nice. Uttarakhand, I've already had a question coming. So Uttarakhand also has more than one? Very nice. All right, so mini India. And Uttarakhand question gets an answer. I'm so glad you want to be an entrepreneur, not want to just get into UPSC, writing IAS. To be an entrepreneur, I think the first thing is to be ready to take risks, both financial and also of the core business that you want to do. Calculate your risks and take risk. Second, familiarize yourself with the kind of facilities which are being provided by the government so that you can encash on them maximum. 2. 3, understand the competition which is around you, because that's what is going to determine how good you are, how cost effective you are, and how good is your product. So you need to understand your competition. And finally, be ready if your business doesn't work out to close shop and start a new venture. Closing is not a curse. Nobody is going to black mark you on it, but be ready to accept closure. Yeah?
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, please.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Myself, Mehak Gupta. I am from medical. My question is, please show some light on the establishment of digital university, which was mentioned in the last year's budget speech.
Sure. Digital university is a very progressive thought which was brought in because India still has a lot of areas where good universities are not reaching out to. Because establishing a university in a particular place to get enough number of students, quality teachers, establish the infrastructure, all costs money. You need a place where you can at least get some good number of students for making it cost effective. Government tries to set up universities in far-flung areas, but private is also coming in. But even then, there are parts of India which doesn't have enough coverage. And therefore, you find universities are going to be a bigger, costlier proposition. And Prime Minister thought it was possible to bridge that gap by using technology. And that is where good universities of good high quality of education could, by that announcement which was made in the budget, could establish themselves as digital universities and provide through online and somewhat offline education to those students who are living in these far-flung areas. It's making good progress. Lot of interest has been shown both by the recipient students and also by the people who are in the field of education to understand how best their university can also become digital. It's like a hub and spoke model where that central digital institute of excellence will also give it to somebody else, and from there it can be for the student. So it is a model which India is unique in trying for a large country like ours, which also has digital mastery. So it is progressing well, and medical education partly can also benefit from it.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, please.
Hello, ma'am. My name is Divya Agrawal. I'm from Rajasthan. My question is, how do you handle India's economy? What are the challenges? Thank you.
It was just a two-line question, yeah? And I'm expected to answer. I'll be a flop in answering this. Because the question is so simply worded. And she's really very good in putting everything concisely. She must have been very good in prissy writing in her school days. Well, the complexity of the Indian economy is the one which makes it a lot more difficult. But we have a Prime Minister who's well-rooted because he was a Chief Minister. He knew how things are handled in the ground. Then you also have a team of ministers who are constantly hearing from their own crowd of, let us say, constituencies, the problems which are faced by them. And also have a good set of bureaucrats, not just in Finance Ministry, but across various ministries, who constantly remind you of the developments which are happening elsewhere. It is important to have a good ear than speak. So the more you listen, the more you get good ideas. And then you handle decision making. So in short, that's the answer I can give you. But of course, it needs a lot more elaboration some other time.
Thank you very much. Let's get some questions from this side. Yes, please.
Hey, from the boys there, yeah?
Okay.
The mic doesn't seem to go that side at all. Poor guys.
Okay. So let me go to the boys then. Yes.
But do remember to come back to this girl.
Yes, I will.
Who took the mic and I refused.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm Rajiv from Chhattisgarh. Ma'am, my question is to that if we see a young entrepreneur who is just in college and has executed some idea or plan as a form of a company and wants to shake hands with government for his small projects, like he can be in defense, finance or anything. So what are the steps that government has taken? Like we have seen that 10 years ago, if you talk about entrepreneurship, it was just like, what is that? But now we know every village people knows what's entrepreneurship. Ma'am, thank you.
A very good question, I would think. You know, to meet up with government is not difficult. You just should send an email of sorts to any department, industry or to defense, because you're talking about defense production, or to finance or to any ministry, MSME, you will get an audience with the concerned officer or with the minister. The point is, before you come, and you're welcome to come, I'm not stopping you, you're welcome to come and meet anybody. But in each of these areas, today in governance, the government believes in putting out a lot of FAQs. You know FAQs, right? So FAQs are available. You go through that. And if it still doesn't answer some of your question, being a young entrepreneur, you're welcome to say, hey, look, I've seen all these FAQs. I still have some questions. I need to meet up with somebody. You will definitely have someone calling you back or answering you in your mail saying, welcome to come and meet us. If it doesn't happen, send it to me. I will forward to the concerned. But you should meet. You get a lot of good experience from it.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll take her question.
Sorry, I had to move to the boys before you
It's
could.
fine. Good afternoon, ma'am. I am Tamanna from Rewari, Haryana. I would like to ask you a question that there is big difference in the number of students and number of seats in the medical stream. So by when can we expect every district to have a medical college of its own? Thank you.
Welcome to you.
I'm sure you know what I'm looking at. I want to give you actual data and also promise you that the intent of the government is to move fast to provide more medical seats, more engineering seats. Not just give seats, give quality education and also bring into these courses an element of skilling and an element of being ready for the global demands. When I say this, you all know very clearly that even within India, engineering graduates, when they go for a job, many of these well-established companies say it takes us nearly 6 months to get them job ready. You have a degree in your hand, but are you job ready? And that is where the companies feel after good quality engineering college degree holder being recruited, they spend 6 months in skilling them, getting them ready for the job. And so with the medical education. You're ready, your internship readies you, residency readies you. But after that, you would want to be in the company of people from whom you can learn. So India is moving rapidly towards, and I know, for instance, in Japan, in Singapore, even in Italy and Germany, countries want our graduates, engineers and doctors, nurses. But they also have a handicap in that you're all very good in English, but you're not probably familiar with Japanese or German or Italian. And therefore, nowadays, government has brought in those country cultural heads to come into India and train our students in the last year or 1 year before that in the languages required, in those certifications which are required so that you can be mutually recognized. Your degree is recognized by them, their degree is recognized by us, so that you can get into jobs. So I just want to highlight the fact we are one of the third largest in higher education in the globe. Over 40 million students are enrolled across 1,000 plus universities and 42,000 plus colleges nationally. Okay, this is a report of 2022. I'm giving you the latest figure on it. And there are combinations which are not available elsewhere, like biology and computer sciences. We Indians do that. Nanotechnology has combination of physics, chemistry, material sciences, and also engineering. These are available today in universities which earlier we wouldn't have imagined having. Similarly, material physics, electromagnetics, optics, radio engineering, and electronics are all being offered as multidisciplinary, and so on. But about the seats, I think I will have to do a bit more search without taking much of your time. I will gather it, but I know for sure the number of medical colleges have rapidly increased. You were specific in asking me when will we have a medical college each district. That is already moving apace. We are establishing now in every district at least one medical college so that students need not travel too far to get their education.
Thank you, ma'am. With your permission, can we take a couple of more questions? Ma'am, we'll take a couple of more questions. One from here. Yes.
Ma'am, good morning, ma'am. Myself, Atul Kumar from Bihar. My question is that what kind of government program running for the help to encourage entrepreneur financially? What kind of program running for entrepreneur financially? Nowadays.
There are actually several programs which are there through which entrepreneurs can be funded. That's the question, right? What kind of programs are there for funding entrepreneurs, right?
Yes.
Yes, there are several programs. It depends on what kind and what size and what scale of business you're doing. If you're a very small, absolutely small one, under the nano MSME schemes, micro, small, medium, we have also brought in one lower end category called nano, where smallish businesses can also be funded from the banks. They get very concessional rate of interest. They've also got subsidies being given by the government. Some state governments also provide it. So it varies from the size of the business, the kind of business, and if it is an R&D related entrepreneur, he gets different advantages as well.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I am Komal from Haryana. I am studying medical stream. My question to you is...
You're studying what?
Medical stream.
Medical. Okay.
My question to you is, Kota is known as Shiksha Ki Kashi, as Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi said. What do you think about Kota? What are the growth prospects of the city? Thank you.
Oh, what can I think of Kota? Look at this. You know, but one thing about Kota which I need to say, you're all from different parts of the country. Yeah? But you come to Kota. You all come to Kota. So there is something about the residents of Kota who understood the need for that fine-tuning of school education, which readies you for the best of universities or institutions in the country. So Kota's smartness, is it's like a cake which is readied. It's all ready. You just need the bit of icing on the top, and you need some decorative thing on the top. And that icing makes it all the different from any random cake. So Kota realized, get all these students from all over the country, give them that finishing trick, grill them into it. You're grilled, right? So they grill you. It's like a diamond which gets polished. Otherwise, it's unpolished. It doesn't glitter. So you get that polishing. And then you're ready to face the challenge of any top-notch institution, Indian Institute of Sciences, Indian Institute of Technology, some of the best medical colleges, and so on. So what do I know of Kota? What do I admire of Kota? And what do each one of us owe the people of Kota? It is this smartness that they realized that there is a gap between entering a top-notch institution or university and your finishing years in school, irrespective of the state. That gap is what is to be finished or completed or refined or readied. Kota and people in Kota recognized it. And they thought, why not we serve that gap? And they started doing it, attracted the best minds from all over the country. They can be smart and have a formulation to do it, but without each one of you all coming here, that polishing wouldn't be effective or it wouldn't have a start. You recognize that Kota technique. You said, all right, I'll come here and have that refining, that polishing. So you bring that value addition to Kota. Kota is sitting with the technique. You come, give them that value addition, and together you make a success of India's educational achievements. That's what I remember of Kota. Without you, without the smart kids from all over India, Bihar, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, and all over, without you, Kota doesn't get that credit. And with you, that smartness to identify a business proposition in the name of education, Kota stands out. So that's the combination which is very positive and good.
Thank you very much, Madam. Raise your hands if you want to ask questions to the Honorable Finance Minister. Ma'am, you have to come to Kota more often. See, the questions are never ending, but respecting time, maybe we will wind up this Q&A here itself. Any last-minute thoughts? What message would you like to give to these young minds?
No, I want them to give me the message. What is it that they expect of leadership today? What is it that you want us to do? So can we have one or two from...
Yes. What do you expect from leadership?
What I expect from the government is to eradicate that reservation and category preferences that we are facing right
now. Ma'am, can I talk in Hindi? Of course.
Any language, I'm okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. मतलब कि मेरा ये कहना है कि गवर्नमेंट मेडिकल कॉलेजेस जो हैं इंडिया में बहुत कम है इन कंपेयर टू प्राइवेट मेडिकल कॉलेज, तो क्यों नहीं हम लोग जो है प्राइवेट मेडिकल कॉलेज को गवर्नमेंट के अंडर मिले, ताकि ये हमारे लिए अच्छा होगा, क्योंकि इंडिया में मोस्टली मिडिल क्लास फैमिली है जो 1 करोड़ 5 इयर्स का एफोर्ड नहीं कर सकती है, बट हम लोग अपने एजुकेशन के थ्रू जो है गवर्नमेंट मेडिकल कॉलेज को अफोर्ड कर सकते हैं.
हे, मातृभाषा में बात करने में ना ताकत आ जाता है.
Yes. Any other thoughts for leadership? Yes, please.
Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, as you said that we have a combination of educations being provided today in universities, I just wish to request you that there is a combination of computer science with biology, which is very less and it is just available in VIT today. And I just ask you if we can elaborate it, if we can expand that, because that has a lot of opportunities sitting there. And I'm one of those students with biology and computer science. And I really wish that I get that opportunity to enter. And VIT is a private college, and we want more such colleges which are affiliated by the government. And I wish that that could happen ever ahead.
Point taken.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Hello, ma'am.
1 minute. Hey, boys. There's an inherent bias. The mic doesn't want to come near you all. Do something to get it. After her, the mic will come to you. Just hold on. Yeah. Please go on, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. My name is Apala Mishra and I'm doing medical. और मैम जब से मैं यहाँ पे आई हूँ बहुत सारे अप्स एंड डाउन्स आए हैं. कॉन्फिडेंस कभी एकदम लो हो जाता है, बहुत प्रॉब्लम होती है. लाइक आई डोंट एक्सपेक्ट एनीथिंग बट द थिंग इज़ कि बहुत ज़्यादा मेहनत करने के बाद भी एक पॉइंट पे ऐसे लगता है कि होगा या नहीं होगा, यही रहता है दिमाग में सिर्फ एक पॉइंट.
What did you say is your name?
Apala Mishra.
Apala, first of all, the fact that you're able to stand up and say this. And I'm not trying to mock anybody. I'm absolutely serious now. I'm not trying to mock anybody. But the moment Apala highlighted this as a challenge for her, how many of us felt, at least she asked that question, I didn't. Yeah? So you, Apala, have no reason to feel ups and downs. Look at how many of them who didn't ask that question. You had the courage to ask.
I'm tense. I'm so
No, you should be the last person to be tensed. Yeah, you're getting up to say, look, ups and downs. The moment you have recognized ups and downs, that's half the bridge crossed. I'm honestly telling you this. I'm honestly telling you this. And if I were to be closer to you now, I would have given you a huge hug. Honestly. Let's all understand, life is never going to be without ups and downs. Hey, boys.
Yes, ma'am, let's get
You don't want answers?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Wait a minute. Hey, come on. I've not finished the answer I'm giving Apala. But that answer is important for you all also. Don't pretend you don't have ups and downs. The typical boy mentality, no? I don't have any of this. Is so girly. And it is they who have the biggest ups and downs who pretend, oh no, None of that. None of that. The answer that is being given to Apala is more for the boys.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ups and downs you always have in life. You will have more of it, don't worry. But the fact that you recognize it, and the fact you recognize that that really drains you down, is enough for you to know that you will overcome it. You have to motivate yourself. You have to motivate yourself because what comes from within is the one which stays with you. I can tell you 10 things and go away today. But unless you self-motivate, saying, hey, come on, yes, ups and downs. Yes, today was a bad day, but I will see tomorrow better. You will be better off for it. And Apala, today, I wish you that today will be the last day you will feel it. From now, you'll smash it up.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Varun. I am from Maharashtra. My team is Cobras. My question is, the biggest problem of India is unemployment. 6% of India of people are unemployed. As a youth, I want to see 0% unemployment.
It's a very important question. It's a very important question, and I recognize the importance of it. But today, I just want to know, where are you? I didn't ask where are you from. I said where are you? What course are you doing? What is the course you're doing? Hang on. I heard commerce. What in commerce? Are you in BCom first year?
11th CA Foundation.
Huh?
11, 12 CA Foundation.
th and 12th CA foundational course. I honestly request you, humbly, focus on what you're doing today. Since you've chosen to do CA, come out brilliantly in it, and the moment you come out, you will have a job in your hand. I'm not predicting. I'm not giving a jyotish. With skill, with some qualification, once you seek a job, you get it. I'm not saying it's all available there. It will have to be created. More will have to be created. There is a disproportionate number of people who want the jobs, who will have to be provided with jobs. It's a right concern that you have in your mind. But don't let that bog you down from completing what you've undertaken. Focus on it, complete it, by which time I'm sure there will be a lot more opportunities for you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. There are so many questions. But
Now, collectively, will you all ask one question among yourselves?
Good afternoon, ma'am. I am Anirudh Raj from Bihar. Ma'am, I want to ask you that India's rank in ease of doing business is good, but India's rank in ease of starting business is not so good. So what I can expect from government so that India's rank in ease of starting business improves and we can see new entrepreneurs and India full of employment. Thank you, ma'am.
Very pertinent question. But I want you to understand a little nuance in that, a little calibration in that. Ease of doing business is not just a central government responsibility. Because business, after all, starts in some state. The central government can bring in rules, regulations, and also bring in meaningful regulations, remove many of the burdens, and give it as a policy. It can be implemented in the union territories, which the Government of India is responsible directly for. But further down, it is the state governments which also equally will have to do it. Similarly, if you are living in a municipal area, the municipality also will have to understand that we have to be part of this easing of doing business. Or if you're living in a panchayat, the panchayat area should also know that ease of doing business is an important criteria for businesses to prosper. So it is not just Government of India, it is different layers until the last layer. And that's where we now in Government of India are engaging with different layers of people and different layers of administration so that this ease continues across the country.
thank you very much. A big round of applause for the Honorable Minister for answering all the questions. Thank you very much, ma'am.